Joining me now, Barbara Smith, Kelly Riddell, and Jillian Melcher. Jillian, I'll start with you. First of all, I got it, to be honest. It was sort of ambiguous, convoluted. It sounded like a lawyer, someone who wasn't a lawyer trying to sound like a lawyer. I don't know what the hell he was asking.
He's long-winded.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. So this is the source. This is the epicenter of the latest crisis. What do you make of it?
Well, so I think this gets down to intent, right? So what he said wasn't true. We know that now. But it's also a question of whether it was a lie or whether it was just something that he didn't think. Because we've got to remember, he was doing both campaign stuff and congressional stuff. It's not unusual to have a...
But if someone says, hey, I just heard a report a moment ago on a TV network, and it says something is happening right now, I don't know that the question itself was necessarily clear either.
So I don't think... I mean, I think what he said was pretty explicit, that he did not meet with Russians, and he did. Whether that was just a slip of mind, ended up saying it accidentally, that's totally possible. But I think what we're seeing pretty consistently is Trump surrogates, Trump representatives, people within the Trump administration, either lying or speaking carelessly. And that's something that's very concerning when you're looking at something as grave as allegations of Russian interference in American elections. You got to be on your A game on
Well,
this.
Barbara Smith, I mean, you served as legal counsel for President Bush, and again, to me, it seemed like there was, to me, it was sort of ambiguous. I lost track of the conversation, of what Franken was trying to say, to be quite frank with you. So if he was looking for a gotcha moment, he would have gotten me. What do you make of it?
Well, sure. I think when you're talking about the decision whether the Attorney General should recuse himself, you're not necessarily talking about whether he misspoke or whether he gave an incomplete answer, but rather whether there's the appearance of impropriety. And I think to the extent his decision was based on the desire to avoid that appearance of impropriety, to ensure that whatever investigation is conducted, is without taint, is without any sort of, impropriety in the investigation itself, I think he made the right decision.
Well, yeah, but having said that now, Kelly, it opens the door to what Jillian is saying, and of course what many in the mainstream media is saying, hey, you've got all these so-called connections to Russia. Again, if it's just about careless speaking, are they making it more than it probably is?
Yeah, I don't think that Jeff Sessions did anything inappropriately. I think that the question was based on fake news. It was based on the Russian dossier, if you remember, on all the scandalous things that it said there that was undocumented, unproven. We still don't know exactly what role the Russians had in the election. We know that they did not hack it, meaning that they did not change the electoral results of this election, and the Donald Trump won fair and square. This is a narrative that the mainstream media and the Democrats are trying to push to delegitimize Trump's presidency, and I do not believe that Senator Sessions should have recused himself. Senators meet all the time with ambassadors. 7 senatorial Democrats met with the Russian ambassador. He went to the White House 22 times. That's been reported today. The involvement at the Cleveland Convention, that was set up by the State Department, Barack Obama's State Department. So that interaction was also very kosher. So by recusing himself, it almost looks like he did something inappropriate, and that's not the right message, I believe, that the Trump administration should be sending right now.
Yeah, and that's just it. Listen, maybe knowing all the things and how great the week started for Donald Trump, maybe Sessions, Jillian was trying to fall on his sword quickly and move out of the way. But the stories that have come out since then, the Twitter exchange between Chuck Schumer and President Trump today, Claire McCaskill, in effect, if you want to say lying or forgetting, underscoring the idea that,
that was embarrassing.
Well, listen, if you're going to be the Attorney General at some point, I don't know, it just feels like, that this is something that it could be sloppy, but I think it's being made more of than it should be.
Yeah, I think part of this, too, is we want an Attorney General that's beyond reproach. We've seen a lot during the Obama administration of an Attorney General that acted in a political way. So I think it is the right choice for him to recuse himself on this. I will say, going on, I'm really entertained / relieved at Democrats' newfound hawkish position on Russia. I would have loved to see that back during the whole Ukraine crisis when they were, invading Crimea, invading eastern Ukraine. That's very welcome right now. I'm happy to see them be hawkish on Russia. I hope they're more hawkish going forward.
Yeah, something tells me, though, that this is all about politics and not foreign policy. Real quick, Barbara, where do you think this goes from here legally?
Yeah, so I mean, I think you're going to see a thorough investigation on behalf of the Department of Justice, led by a man who I think really took the high road here. Even if we assume he did nothing wrong, I think it showed incredible moral leadership for him to say, listen, I didn't do anything wrong, but I'm stepping away so that the investigation itself isn't tainted, isn't corrupted. And I think we'll see a thorough investigation that everyone at the end of the day will be able to say, all right, you know, we know that that was complete and thorough. And at the end of the day, that's what we want the Attorney General, I think, to be doing.
Yeah, and then we'll focus on things like getting the economy started. That's kind of important,
Sure.
too. Ladies, thank you all. At least 85 Democrats, by the way, have called for Attorney General session.